Once upon a time, beneath the benevolent gaze of the Himalayas, lived two restless souls. Rahul, a wealthy merchant's son, had every earthly comfort, yet felt a persistent emptiness. Priya, a street orphan, knew only the emptiness of hunger and the sharp reality of each day. Unbeknownst to them, their journeys were about to entwine at the feet of the awakened one, Gautam Buddha. Priya, her path littered with disappointments, had long ago ceased to believe in fairy tales or benevolent sages. Yet when whispers of a Buddha who taught a path beyond fleeting joys reached her, a flicker of desperation doubled as curiosity led her towards his forest grove. There she saw Rahul, clearly out of place amongst the threadbare robes, and felt a surge of annoyance and a reluctant kinship. Rahul, overwhelmed by the stark suffering he'd fled from, found himself in the unexpected presence of a teacher famed for ending sorrow. "Great sage," he implored, "what must I do to find lasting happiness?" Buddha met his desperation with a compassionate smile. "My son, before we discuss that, hear a story of a king who sought a ring inscribed with magic words, words that would uplift his spirits when sad and humble him when elated." Priya, despite herself, listened with growing fascination. The king, Rahul realized, mirrored his restless seeking. After much deliberation, Buddha continued, the advisors gave him a band engraved with this: "This too shall pass." Confusion flickered across Rahul's face. This was wisdom? Priya, however, saw the ever-shifting tides of her own life mirrored in these simple words. Buddha observed their contrasting understanding. "This impermanence is at the root of both joy and your unease, Rahul. To cultivate a strong mind, you cannot banish negativity, but neither can you cling to it. Observe your thoughts as fleeting visitors like clouds across the sky." He looked at Priya, and for those for whom the present is a battle. He trailed off. A flicker of unexpected hope touched Priya's hardened gaze. If this sage helped the rich boy find peace, could he help her find, not respite, she wasn't that knave, but a way to bear the world's harshness without being crushed by it? Teacher and students, though they'd never used such terms, began their journey. For Rahul, meditation was a frustrating war against his racing mind. Priya, used to seizing any scrap of advantage, at first fought her well in emotions, then slowly learned to simply sit with them. In their shared silence was a wordless acknowledgement of their struggles. One day, returning from the river with mended nets, Rahul found Priya's face strangely softened. It wasn't peace, but a hint of space where before there had only been tightness. Prompted by an unfamiliar instinct, he picked up the discarded, fraying rope she'd been using, and wordlessly they fixed it together. Their transformation wasn't sudden. When they returned to their villages, Rahul with more awareness, Priya with less bitterness, the change registered slowly. But the shift was real. Rahul's father saw not a son consumed by vague dissatisfaction, but one who discreetly ensured no one in the village went hungry. Priya's scowl lessened. Instead of snatching, she sometimes paused to offer a crust of bread to a child. Word of these changes spread subtly. The Buddha, hearing this, smiled. His teachings were not about creating otherworldly saints, but helping ordinary people find strength within the ordinary. Years later, with Rahul balancing duty and mindfulness, Priya felt a deep, unfamiliar pull. She shaved her head, donned the ochre robe, becoming Buddha's disciple. Though their paths rarely crossed after, their presence was like the king's ring, a subtle reminder in the heart of the villages. One night, as they meditated beneath the Bodhi tree, a lost traveler stumbled upon them. Rahul offered water. Priya shared the last of her rice, and something in the man's eyes shifted beyond gratitude. He sought out the Buddha, becoming another link in the chain of those seeking true contentment. Rahul, the sheltered son, Priya, the hardened survivor, found that their journeys mirrored each other, seeking struggle, the slow blooming of resilience. No fairy tale ending, but the real magic, a quiet strength in the face of life's relentless change. Just as the king's ring held both solace and a call to humility, their presence was a whispered message: this too shall pass.